All right, here we are again at the end of our Jenny Finch camp, and I'm joined with three-time Olympic gold medalist Leah O'Brien Amico, who just finished a book, which I think is very cool, again, as a fellow author. I know the work that goes into that.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit, first of all, what inspired you to write the book, and then tell us a little bit about what the book's about.
Well, I've at Jenny Finch camps done devotionals on Sunday before camp for probably about 10 years now. I also do them at other things that I do. I speak a lot and share my Olympic stories, my college championship stories, the life lessons I've learned, and also my stories of faith and how they all can apply and kind of mesh together. And so I've had actually the desire to put it down on a paper, but writing doesn't come as easily as speaking does for me. And so I've been encouraged. I mean, years ago, many times I've actually sat down and tried to write different things. At one point, it was a book kind of about my life, which may end up coming for hopefully some softball players to inspire them. But recently, Jenny and I had actually been throwing it around for years that we've been wanting to do that, because our heart is to encourage these young girls and to remind them at the end of the day, like softball, we have these amazing experiences, but it's a sport. Life can be hard at times, but with God, like He at the center, like we get our foundation, we realize that anything is possible, we realize that we can persevere through any trial, that God's with us. So recently in about March, I met somebody who said, I'd love to help you with that project. You know what? And he gave me the idea of, he listened to kind of what my passion was. And he said, you know, a 31-day devotional would be amazing. And so immediately I was like, yeah. And as long as I had someone to help me along the process, and like you said, I didn't know all that went into it, but I learned quickly. But I had someone cheering me on that had gone through it. And so I think that's important, is the team. It comes back to everything I've done. I've had a good team around me. So I went and wrote all 31 stories within like a little over a month, which was really fast, but only because I've been doing it for so many years. Then he kind of would tweak it and make it a little more reader friendly and then send it back. Once he did that process, I had something working, a foundation to start from, and then I went back through every single one and kind of changed it a little bit more, made them longer, fine-tuned them, which then allowed me to then go, and I self-published, so I ended up having to figure that out. That took a while, a lot of frustrating days, but then days of celebration when we figured something out. Again, some people around me that could help with that part of it, and it is a 31-day devotional called Softball Glory and God's Story, to where I share, like I said, Olympic stories, stories of, you know, my youth days of playing, my college days, and the lessons I learned, and then relating it to either a Bible truth or a Bible story. I talk about how I was the weakest on the Olympic team with grip strength, but how God is my strength, and how Samson in the Bible was someone that God was his strength, but when he kind of turned away from God, his strength left him. And just a reminder of that our strength comes from God.
That's awesome. As soon as I saw you published it today, make sure you bring some to the camp. I wanted to get one for myself for sure, and our staff, and I thank you for personalizing for them. I don't know if all the staff has seen them yet. I know I put a couple on desks, and I gave one to Missy as she left, and she read what you wrote, and she was like, oh, I'll tell her thank you and everything. So she was inspired by that. And I gave Kelsey hers last night behind the camera there, so I know she's looking forward to it. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. And again, I know the process. I mean, I'm a little jealous because it took me 9 years to write mine, and actually I'm not done. I'm adding a couple more chapters,
yes.
So I'm hoping to be completely done in November.
Nice.
So the fact that you turned it around so quick, I'm a little jealous on that. But hey, you know, it all happens for a reason.
The story of my life will probably take longer. That started 6 years ago, so. And then
all right. Well, now I feel a little better on that one.
So
tell people how they can get the book.
Yes. It's on Amazon. If you put in my name, Leah Amico, Amico, if you put in softball devotional book, that will come up. Or if you go to my website, that's the other way, leah20.com, leah20.com. I sign and personalize those ones that come from my website. It's almost exactly the same price. And so if they go to either of those sites, then we can get that book turned around. And my goal is really for it to just get outside maybe my sphere of influence, because maybe it'll encourage certain people and they can see someone else on their team that could be encouraged by it or needs a reminder of just how much God loves them, and there's a bigger purpose in life. And so, yep, Amazon or my website, leah20.com.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. good luck with it, and have a safe trip home. And again, thanks for joining us. We love having you guys out here. Any last things you want to say before we sign off about the book or anything in general?
Yeah. Well, I just love coming to Pennsylvania. It's completely different than California, but it's beautiful. These green hills and these trees, and I see the house up on the hill. I'm like thinking that'd be pretty cool to have that. But more than that, I think it's just what I'm so thankful for in this sport are the people that we meet. And so to have the, like you said, the relationship. When we meet and we work together, we become friends. I'm thankful for social media because we can stay connected. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is, and so much of life is just how we treat people and the relationships we have. And so, you know, again, when we know that God loves every one of us and has a plan, and we just want to honor him, and we live that out in our relationships, and honestly, like it should inspire all of us. I get inspired by people like you.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks again, and check out the book. I guarantee it's a great read, even though I have not read it yet. I'm looking forward to it. I'll guarantee it's going to be a great read. And again, thanks for joining us.